Ho ho ho, and welcome to another episode of the 12 Days of Preps. So today we're going to be talking about alternative cooking methods. Don't forget to comment on this video and all of the 12 videos in the playlist down below in the description. And I encourage you to get involved with this. Just be sure to tag me if you want to post a video about any of the topics down below in the description. And be sure to join my newsletter, and I will be having additional content on the YouTube memberships site. So be sure to check all that out in the description. Comment down below, what are your favorite alternative cooking options? I'd love to hear it. Why even bother? You know, I especially get this a lot when people are like, well, I have a gas or natural stove. The problem with this is, you know, if you are still connected to a system, even if it is, you know, your own propane or a natural gas, things like this, it is still a system that you are relying on, and a source, specifically propane, natural gas, that you really can't control. You can buy it while it's available, you know, you can pay your bills and get that while it's available. But if it ever does stop working, what are we going to be doing then? Well, we kind of have to revert back to other preps and other ways of cooking. And of course, propane natural gas will last without electricity. However, I always suggest many different options, indoor and outdoor. And let's take a look at a few. So propane is a good indoor option. A lot of people say that, you know, Coleman stoves and things aren't really good for indoor use. But the thing with this is, I highly suggest that if you're using like a Coleman stove or something, is to just crack open a little bit of a window, have a little bit of an escape. Or if you have an overhead hood, things like that, in which any excess vapors or anything like that could escape. Now, this is just a precautionary thing. You know, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, okay? You're taking your life in your own hands. Absolutely never take a barbecue inside of your house. Barbecues are always to be used outdoors. Some other indoor options would be like an alcohol stove, because there's no smoke, it burns clean, small flames. Again, the Coleman stove is a good one. Sterno, anything like that. Butane is going to be good. And then if you have a wood stove, many wood stoves can be used for cooking, or you can get like a dedicated actual wood stove. And with all these options that we're talking about, we need to consider the fuel options, okay? And how are you going to store these things? The Coleman is going to take, you know, those little bottles of propane. You can also refill from larger bottles of propane. And then, you know, there's wood, and there's the Sterno cans, you know, that you had to prep with, and all these other options you have to consider with the fuel. I think in a lot of cases, wood is going to be one of the greatest assets and fuel options. So when we're talking about wood, you know, we are talking about the wood stoves and that kind of thing, but a lot of time wood is thought of as an outdoor thing. You make a fire, you know, you can make like a mud oven, or you can make just a fire pit and have a grill over it. You can make all different types of fire. You can get a solo stove. I did this solo stove I cooked over this solo stove, and it worked fantastic. I just put a grill over top of it with some cast iron. It was great. You know, but it just kind of depends on the weather. A lot of people don't want to cook outside when it's cold, but you know, when you're making a fire and you're cooking outdoors, you're warming up because you're moving and you're active and you're cooking, and you have the fire to warm you up. Cast iron is going to be something you really want to start investing in now. You can find used cast iron in a variety of places. You know, and even if it's rusted, you can bring it back to life. Of course, you can buy brand new cast iron. Lodge is really affordable, and there's a lot of off brands. Now, a lot of people will tell you that a lot of those off brands are not so great. I'm not sure I'm of that opinion. I have a lot of off brands that are perfectly fine, but if whatever direction you want to take it in, get it slowly. Get like one skillet, you know, at a time, you know, like 1 or 2 new cast iron, you know, pieces a year or something like that. A good skillet and like a Dutch oven are going to be 2 universal things that you can use for pretty much anything that you want to make, including bread. We used our Coleman stove exclusively for a couple months when we went to Alaska, and we found out that it would take about a week for us to deplete that 1 pound of propane, and that was, you know, using it 3-4 times a day. So that was a really good knowledge for us. You know, really work out this stuff and work out the details of your alternative cooking options and see how they're going to work out best for you. Nobody's going to know best but you. Start out with one option that you think is going to work. work, try it out consistently, see how long it's going to take, how much fuel it's taking, and what type of fuel is going to be best for you and your needs and how you're going to be able to store it. I actually have a blog down below on how to store the most basic fuel options, so check out that blog post down below. And remember, every comment is entered to win on all 12 videos. Every comment is entered to win my books. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer the World by Preparing today. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.